Alright, let's get into it. No channel plugs, no cutaways, just the whole wild ride in one long, real, straight-shot story. Here's how it all went down. The way I'd tell a friend over a beer. Because if you've ever thought your HOA drama was bad, well, you haven't met Shirley Allen or the circus she unleashed on my life. I mean, have you ever woken up with armed men outside your window? I have. That's not an exaggeration. It's exactly how this started. I opened my eyes, saw the glare of flashlights, and before I could even get out of bed, I heard the metallic snap of handcuffs. 3 uniforms at my door, one of them barking about a federal property seizure warrant, telling me I had 1 hour, just 1 damn hour, to evacuate everything I'd built. My heart was punching holes in my chest. I'm not ashamed to say it. I was scared. And through all that chaos, there she was, Shirley Allen, HOA president, sitting in her white Lexus at the curb, giving me that crocodile smile that made it real clear she was enjoying the show. You know that feeling when your worst nightmare suddenly turns up at your door, wide awake and grinning? Yeah, that happened. Sunday morning, I'm just sitting on my deck, sipping coffee, thinking it's going to be another quiet day on the lake, when Shirley pulls up, like she owns the gravel beneath my boots. Out steps Rita Foster too, neighbor from 2 doors down, clutching this folder so thick it could have been used as body armor. Shirley doesn't waste a beat. Jim, we need to discuss some serious violations. And just like that, my world starts to slide sideways. See, I used to be county police, until some lowlife busted my knee for good. These days, I keep to myself, 38, retired, trying to enjoy the peace I thought I'd earned. But that morning, Shirley lays out these color-coded forms on my deck like she's running a SWAT operation. 20 grand in special assessments for violations I'd never even heard of, due in 30 days, or I'm out. The kicker? It was all about my dock. Permits were legit when I bought this place, grandfathered in, previous owner and all. But Shirley has new rules now, apparently, and suddenly I'm public enemy number 1. And Rita, she's fidgety, asking weirdly specific questions. When do I walk to the dock? Do I have cameras? What time do my lights switch on? I've seen plenty of scared people, and she was textbook, avoiding my eye, voice trembling, clutching that folder like it was a life preserver. This wasn't an HOA check-in. This was an ambush, and the more I listened, the more it felt like she was mapping my whole life for someone else. So I start leaning on my old habits, letting the cop in me take over. After they leave, I dust off my beat-up scanner, call it a force of habit, and wouldn't you know, I pick up static, then chatter on frequencies the HOA has no business using. Package assessment confirmed, resistance patterns documented. Who talks like that about dock violations? Not anybody legit. Then there's this QR code Shirley hands me for Morrison Marine Compliance Services. The site looks like a teenager's school project, but it's got expensive gear behind it. Audio rigs, pro cameras, earpieces. And here's the wild part. Turns out Carl Morrison, Shirley's son, is behind it all. 26, no job history, suddenly a marine compliance expert, with gear worth more than my truck. The more I poked, the more rotten it smelled. Monday morning, 2 guys show up claiming they're inspectors. Uniforms and clipboards, but when I ask for county badges, they give me the kind of homemade credentials you'd see in a bad spy movie. The badge numbers don't even match county records. Their job? To document every non-compliant modification for Shirley's official report. Their real job? To bait me. Get me to say something angry, something they can record, twist, edit. Carl's voice pops up on the scanner, clear as day, talking about audio samples collected, editing in progress. They're making fake evidence. Right on cue, Rita shows up again, too soon after the inspectors to be coincidence. This time, she looks like she's about to break. That's when I notice medical bills poking out of her purse, serious ones. I ask, and she cracks. Her daughter's got cancer, needs experimental treatment the insurance won't touch, 60 grand she'll never have. Shirley pays her $500 a week for community coordination, which, let's be real, is just fancy talk for spying on neighbors. Desperate people do desperate things. Rita wasn't a villain. She was just drowning, and Shirley knew it. And you know what's sicker? The coordination isn't about community at all. It's about targeting. Rita's job was to find folks who were hurting, medical debt, divorce, veterans on fixed incomes, and feed that intel up the chain. People who can't fight back get squeezed until they sell. My property was key to some development deal. 3 houses they needed, and mine was in the way. So I start running my own counter-operation. I feed Rita a story about hiring a lawyer just to see what she'd do. Within half an hour, a black sedan with tinted windows pulls up to her place. Money changes hands. Cold, systematic, not like anything casual. I confront her with what I saw, and the whole truth pours out. There's a network running this. 6 communities, same playbook, same audio editing, same pressure tactics. Carl's running a studio out of his basement, cutting voice samples, building fake threats, sharing templates with operators all over. My scanner picks up coordination between contractors. Timestamps match the payments. Carl's the linchpin. He controls tech, training, communications, everything. Shirley thinks she's running compliance, but she's just a puppet. Her desperation, her mother's cancer, all being exploited so Carl can build his little empire. It's a criminal franchise, and my doc was just the entry point. By Tuesday, I've looped in Detective Jake Williams, my old partner from the force. Turns out I'm not the only one. He's been building a case against this network for months. 12 families targeted, same pattern every time. Fake violations, elderly pressured to sell, single parents squeezed. The money's big, the victims are vulnerable, and the system is slick as hell. Thursday, we set the trap. Rita agrees to wear a wire. I keep routine. County has surveillance all around my place. Shirley, in a moment of raw desperation, comes clean, shows me medical bills, foreclosure notices, proof she's broke and broken. She admits Carl talked her into this with stories about community development and compliance consulting. Never once told her about the audio manipulation or how deep the fraud ran. Friday is the showdown. Community center, 47 neighbors packed in, tension so thick you could slice it with a plastic knife. Shirley stands up, pushes for an emergency vote, claims my dangerous behavior requires immediate action. Carl rolls in with his fake enforcement team. Jammers kill the phones, and the room feels locked down. He plays edited audio of me supposedly threatening officials and neighbors. The mob is just about to vote me out of my home. But Carl makes one fatal mistake. He thinks his radio system is secure. As he calls for law enforcement backup, Jake Williams answers right back, clear as day, over the same frequency. Carl Morrison, you're calling the wrong channel. This is Detective Williams, County Police, and you're under arrest. That room, dead silent. You could feel 47 hearts stop and restart. In that moment, the whole house of cards collapsed. County cops came in, feds too. Carl, Shirley, the fake inspectors, all arrested on the spot. The equipment, the cash, the files, everything seized. Rita, now a protected witness, gave up the whole network. Turns out, this wasn't just a local scam. Carl's operation stretched across 12 states, targeting hundreds of families, millions in stolen property value, all run under the guise of community protection and compliance. Their playbook? Find the hurting, squeeze till they break, manufacture evidence if they resist. And all of it, every last bit, covered by phony authority, fancy equipment, and neighbors turned spies under the weight of medical debt or lost hope. By the time the dust settled, county and federal prosecutors were on it. Every family who lost property got restitution. Rita's daughter started treatment, paid for by a victim's fund. Shirley, 2 years probation, banned from HOA office, forced to educate others about authority fraud. Carl, 18 months, and that's just local. Feds had more waiting. We put in safeguards, real background checks, county-verified contractors, no more one-person power. The HOA was restructured top to bottom. No more fake emergencies, no more community safety, votes manipulated by a scared woman and her sociopathic son. And me? I fixed my scanner. Got a new antenna, tuned in every night just in case. 6 months later, caught a transmission warning 3 other counties about Morrison Marine popping up again. That's when it hit me. Sometimes, broken equipment saves your skin, and sometimes, backup really does show up when you need it. So tell me, where do you draw the line between community protection and criminal theater? Ever faced down a mob convinced you were the villain? Drop your story below. Let's talk about what justice really looks like, because trust me, sometimes it takes the whole neighborhood to see through the smoke.